It started like every enthusiastic garden upgrade does, with high hopes and a bag of something I was told would transform my soil. The buzz around biochar was impossible to ignore. People called it black gold, claiming it boosted microbial life, held nutrients, improved drainage, and lasted forever. So I ordered a sack of pure raw biochar online and mixed it straight into my raised bed soil. I wish I could say the magic happened instantly, but the truth? Within a week my vegetables looked sickly, the soil felt dry and off, and the growth slowed to a crawl. Before I explain what went wrong and how I fixed it, I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried biochar in your garden, either raw or charged? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to compare notes with fellow soil builders. This time, when I worked it into the soil, everything changed. Within 5 days of incorporating the charged biochar into my garden beds, the difference was dramatic. The plants stopped yellowing. New growth looked stronger, greener, and more vigorous. I started seeing signs of improved moisture retention, fewer dry patches even after hot afternoons. The real surprise came when I dug into the soil a week later. The texture had improved noticeably. It was looser, more friable. Earthworms had begun returning to the beds, a sign that the soil ecosystem was rebounding. The biochar wasn't just staying inert in the soil, it had become a living part of it, hosting microbes, holding nutrients, and improving structure. The plants that once looked stressed began to flourish. Tomatoes gained back their vigor. Basil bounced back from the nutrient stall, and the compost I applied afterward didn't disappear, it stuck around, held in place by the now active biochar sponge. So why does charged biochar work so well when raw biochar fails? It all comes down to microbial habitat and nutrient holding capacity. Biochar is filled with microscopic pores, perfect for housing beneficial microbes. But those microbes need food to survive. Charging the biochar gives them that food, so they move in, multiply, and get to work improving your soil. Without this charging phase, the biochar becomes a nutrient vacuum, starving plants and microbes alike. But once charged, it acts as a nutrient battery, holding what the soil needs and releasing it slowly over time. Even better, biochar doesn't break down the way compost or manure does. It lasts for decades, even centuries, meaning you only have to do this once per garden bed. If you're thinking about using biochar, here's what I recommend based on my experience. Always soak it first. Use compost tea, manure tea, or even worm casting tea. Let it sit for at least 3 to 7 days. Stir it now and then to keep things aerobic. After that, mix it into your garden soil at a 10 to 15% volume ratio and water it in well. Avoid using raw biochar straight out of the bag unless you're mixing it directly with a rich compost pile. In that case, the compost will naturally charge it over time, but even then, results will be slower. I almost gave up on biochar after that first misstep, but I'm glad I didn't. Once I understood how to use it properly, it became one of the most valuable amendments in my entire gardening toolkit. It turned tired soil into a thriving environment, and now, months later, the benefits are still unfolding. If you've been hesitant about trying biochar, or if you've tried it before and saw disappointing results, don't write it off yet. Just try charging it properly, and I think you'll see what I mean. And if this guide helped you avoid the same mistake I made, please like the video, subscribe to Hydrohaven, and share this with a gardening friend. Let's spread the knowledge and keep building better soil together.